by Renee from Herself360. Listen, this is our feature, our monthly feature, Women of Interest. A point where you get to find out things that you think you know that you may not know. And so we've decided to have women featured here every month in different categories from homemaking, health and wellness, financial, entrepreneurship, everything 360 degrees can cover. Today we are featuring Nicole Peterkin, and I'm going to let her tell you a little bit more about herself, and then we're going to tell you some things that might be of interest and that can help you out with your life. Nicole?
Sure. So I'm an author, speaker, and financial planner. I specialize in helping people with their money, and I'm here today basically just to share what I know. I've worked with over 500 clients, helping them optimize their financial situations, and have realized that most of the people who I've met with over the years, it's not that they haven't done anything. It's like they're working hard, they're making money, they've done a few of the right things, but there's always a piece missing that really allows them to be able to get the one step further, to really like work smarter, not harder. So I think that's what I can share with you today.
That would be great, because as I just said, we don't know what we don't know. And I gotta ask, or I'm just gonna say, in the category of financial, who teaches us this stuff, right? Like maybe you have an allowance when you're growing up, but then all of a sudden your parents say, you go and ask and say, I need an extra $5, they give it to you. Should they do that, or should they make you live within your means? Right. Anyway, so I want you to tell us what we don't know, what we should know, because I know a lot of people are making money. Are they putting it in the right place? I mean, do you have to be making $200,000 to be able to retire? You tell me. You tell us.
Yeah, I think there's an old way of planning and a new way of planning, right? And the old way of planning is that, you know, you get a job, you buy a starter home, you know, you have a family, you save a little bit of money for retirement, but really Social Security takes care of you, your employer takes care of you, and everything is kind of just a rainy day fund, right? And now the way that things operate is, you know, pensions are gone. You know, we're in Boston. There's no such thing as a starter home. So
that's the truth.
You know, weddings are ridiculous. The cost of childcare is ridiculous. Tuition costs have increased. So now education is a priority. It's almost mandatory, and it's so expensive. So incomes have increased, right? But proportionally based on what we pay for, not really. So it has people feeling like they just need to make a little bit more money to get ahead. But, you know, I have conversations with people all the time, and there's this common, I guess it's like a phenomena, not really, but it's like you get out of college, you start making $40,000 a year, and then you work hard, put in the extra hours, climb the corporate ladder, all of a sudden you're making six figures, and you're like, I'm still broke. You know, so there's all these different milestones, and it's, I just need to get to 50,000. I just need to get to 75,000. I just need to get 100,000. It's like, well, how much more can you do, right? Even if you're making $200,000 a year, do you actually feel like you're living the lifestyle that money should be able to provide? And the answer is often no. And I think that it's because the conventional way of just like, oh, I have an investment guy, he put a little bit of my money away and that's it, doesn't work anymore, right? Like you need to make sure that your insurances and your mortgage and your investments and your everything that you spend money on is all integrated, and that it's all in line with your goals and values, because otherwise, you know, you just fall short. And we read things that show that like most Americans fall short, like you just don't have it. So, I mean, part of it is getting financially organized, which is a hard thing because money is intimidating. Like nobody does teach us about this stuff. So at a basic level, right, it's about just asking questions, you know, and being committed to, like, when you hear of something good, like there's some study that came out that if you get 3 different quotes on a mortgage, you'll save money. If you get more than 1 quote on a mortgage, you save like thousands of dollars because there's competition. But so many people who I know who buy homes just go to one mortgage broker, see what the cheapest rate is with them, and then they buy the house. So if you could have saved, you know, 0.5% by a little bit of competition, almost like buying a car. When you go to different dealerships or go on Kelley Blue Book, you save money.
Great analogy.
How much more important is it for you to get a great deal on a home, like on a $500,000 investment, but you put the effort into like your $25,000 car, but not the home? So it's just little things like that that you just don't think of. And it's not a matter of being like smart or not. Not everyone's smart, but you know what I mean. Like all the women watching this, you're smart, you know? So it's a matter of just like paying attention, and it's easier said than done. Right. It really is easier said than done.
Now, let me ask you this too. When should people start, for one? And two, what if you're older? Is there any option for you to, catch up and be ready? Because again, I'm listening to you and you've just said like 3 things and it's like, shoot, that would be me, that would be me, and that would be me. So what do you see, like, what could you offer to, like you said, kids that just got out of college, like the millennials, to maybe people who are now in their 50s and thinking, ooh, I got to get ready for retirement. You're probably saying, well, you might have want to start that earlier. Yeah. But yeah, you go ahead. What should
No, I really don't think it's age-based. I honestly think that, like, if you look at where most people spend money, nobody wants to look at a budget. And nobody wants to look at a budget because you feel like you work hard, you should be able to spend your money how you want to, and there's a guilt associated with how you spend, right? There's always somebody tells you that your shoes are nice and you're like, oh, I got them on sale, don't worry. You're like, I didn't waste my money, I didn't spend my money for, there's that whole guilt around how you spend your money and how you live your life. And I think that no matter what age you are, significant savings can be had if you take a step back and analyze, what are your real goals? Like, everybody needs to have goals. And I think that so often people stay in the space of, I want to, save up $5,000 to go on vacation. And it's those shorter term, like, maybe it's just a millennial thing, but what I see is like a shorter term, 6 month, 12 month, 2 year, like these really achievable shorter term goals. But there's no like overarching goals in terms of like, what lifestyle do you really want? How many hours do you want to be working? What do you want in 5 years or 10 years? Like, there's not that longer term visualization. And if you do really dig in and start to figure out like, what are my values and what are my overarching goals, even if I'm not getting this today, then when you look at your spending, you can say, okay, I buy Starbucks every single day, and that's cool because that's in line with my value. Starbucks is self-care to me at this point, I have to get my Starbucks every day because it's self-care, because I am, the mom of 2 college kids, and life is just crazy. I'm worried about them all the time. I work hard. I'm trying to pay the college bills, and my latte is the way that I indulge. So I'm not taking the latte off, but oh crap, I spend $40 parking when I go get my hair done because I'm like, I don't leave 15 minutes early and then I can't find a meter. Instead, I'm parking in a garage and it's in Boston, it's $40. So now instead of paying $80 to get my hair done, I'm paying $120 to get my hair done. And actually that's every 2 weeks or every month, right? So it's those things that it's like, well, do you really care whether you park at a meter or in a garage? No, but you're paying $40 versus $2, and like that's the kind of stuff that compounds. That doesn't add to your lifestyle. That doesn't add to your like confidence. It's not really extra convenience. You still have to park somewhere. And so it's like, it's those things that like maybe you might think that's ridiculous that anyone pays $40 for parking, but I guarantee that every single person watching this has some kind of version of that where like money's slipping through the cracks, and it can be to the degree of like $500, a month of like just money slipping through the cracks, subscriptions that like haven't been canceled that you don't use. You have 7 credits on Audible, you have ClassPass and you actually should just pay for the 2 yoga sessions that you want to go to. Just little things, buying everything at Whole Foods instead of splitting up your grocery, trips. It's just like little things, like don't stop buying the avocados, don't not buy steak, don't not buy that pair of shoes. Buy the things that you really love, that you care about. Don't feel guilty about the Louis Vuitton bag. Don't feel guilty about taking your kids to Disney, but find the money somewhere else. And so, like, instead of asking other people like popular opinion, instead of calling into the Susie Orman show, I know that that's like old, people don't do that anymore, but instead of calling into the Susie Orman show and saying like, I make $50,000, should I buy a Gucci bag? It's like, how can somebody else tell you what you should spend money on? Like, I deal with money for a living, and I never tell anybody what to spend their money on. I say that there should be guidelines, whether you're straight out of college or 60 years old, like everyone should be saving a little bit to emergency fund, a little bit to retirement, a little bit to like mid-range and long-term goals. Like, save something, in your own way. If retirement's important to you, save more towards retirement. If it's not, don't let anyone tell you that that's not the right thing.
That's good.
So,
Yeah.
tangent, soapbox.
Oh, stop it. No. And then you just named 3 more things that I'm like, oh, shoot, that's me.
It's not an age thing, though. It really isn't.
I'm glad to hear you say that. I really am. So now, and just listening to you right now, if somebody comes to you, do you have something that you like can offer them, things that of course you have something to offer them, but do you have anything going on that you want to talk about that maybe people can come and see to go along and help them with exactly what it is that you're talking about?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm an author. My book is called If You Love Your Family, Save Like It. It's available on Amazon and on my website, which is NicolePeterkin.com. And basically, I designed that as a workbook around like the new way of thinking about money. So it's not just like talking about investments. It's talking about really how to look at your goals, how to look at your cash flow, how to look at your real estate, your opportunities, and really to start to understand how to put different pieces in place. So it's kind of like a do-it-yourself, and there's questions in the text to kind of make sure that you're like doing some planning as you're going through. So that's available. The other thing is that because I've worked with so many people that whether they have investment managers and CPAs and other professionals or whether they've done nothing, I've found that usually there's just a significant lack of clarity. Like you just really don't know what you have. And if you do know what you have, like you know all the numbers, you don't really know the opportunities. So what I've built is a boot camp. It's called Cash Clarity Boot Camp. We run them once a quarter, and it's basically a place for earners, people who have like struggled really hard to like get their income to a place that they're proud of and where they want it to be, but they're feeling like they don't have the lifestyle that income should provide. It is an intensive boot camp. It's a bring your financial documents and leave with a plan for a secure financial future. So you are sitting there, it's a small group, and you're getting walked through how to really look at your financial documents smartly so that you can be the proper CEO of your life, so that you are coordinating your mortgage broker and your realtor and your insurance people and your investment people and your benefits at work, so that everything is really working in coordination. And people leave that boot camp with a 90-day strategy so that they actually like come here, spend one day, get the clarity, get it done. Like, that's it. Like, do you have one day?
1 day, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, 1 day.
It's as easy as 1 day. It's not 3 months of Google, years of reading different things and asking questions. It's get it all done. So those are the 2 offerings that I have right now for just the person who wants to really do it themselves. Of course, you can hire somebody to do that. I have one-on-one clients, and there are other financial planners who, charge a fee for advice, either hourly or for the year or through investments. But really what I find is that there's a gap between like the hiring somebody and the doing it all yourself. And so I'm trying to bridge that gap for people. So
that's
yeah,
great.
That's really what it is.
Thank you. Listen, I don't know about you, but I got a lot out of this. Not to mention 6 things that I have to go and check myself on. And maybe I'll be at your boot camp. But I really appreciate you doing this. And I want you all to know that we want to thank Nicole for being here. But this interview will be on our website for a month and then afterwards in the archive. So it's always going to be there whenever you decide to make the next step and get your financial life and goals in order, okay? Yeah, I want you all to know that. So listen, Nicole, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
I really appreciate it. Take care. Herself360.